What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here. We're a little late, but it was for a good reason. And we are live for Sports Wars Sunday. John Matrix from Black and White Sports cannot join us this week. He will be back next week. But we are joined, as always, by Fear the Beardo. What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. We've been doing a lot of exclusive sports streams over on Geeks and Gamers Locals. We've been watching a lot of hockey. We did the Four Nations a few weeks ago. We did the UFC pay-per-view last weekend. So we got a lot of cool exclusive sports content coming up, with March Madness coming up, with MLB opening day in a few weeks. So we got a lot of good sports content over there on Geeks and Gamers Locals.
Yeah, and really MLB opening day is like Tuesday in Japan when the Cubs and the Dodgers play somehow on like March 18th or something. But then real MLB opening day a little bit later. We've got March Madness coming up. That's what we were talking about before the stream started. We got to do some March Madness watch parties over on Locals, and we intend to, at least for this first weekend, especially Thursday, Friday. Those days are always crazy. Whether you're looking for upset alerts, all the games, they're staggered in such a way that it seems like each one's running down the last 4 minutes every couple minutes. So it's always fun. And you guys have asked for it. We have it. We do have, if you want to play along, obviously you can't fill out a bracket yet because the brackets are not out. That'll be out later tonight because it is Selection Sunday. But you can go ahead and join the group right now. We've got a link in the description below. If you really want to play along for March Madness, compete against me, compete against anybody else who may join that group. We've always had some people asking for it. We've never got around to it, but it's there. The group is Sports Wars. It should just be publicly available, and you can join if you really, really want to play.
Oh, yeah.
If you really want to play. We've got a lot of super chats already before we even started the stream today.
Let's go.
Which is crazy. My man Dom, who I am blaming Dom, by the way, for Garrett Cole's Tommy John surgery. Dom's like, I gave you that hat. You need to wear it. You need to wear it on stream. I wear it on stream. He clips it out, tries to make me look like I'm a Yankees fan, Yankees supporter. And immediately within 24 hours, Garrett Cole's out for the season. The Yankees.
Yep.
So, sad news for Garrett Cole. I bet he was looking forward to growing the hair out a little bit, growing the beard, but not in the cards for him this year. He's got plenty of time to do that, but he just won't be on the field.
And then you see Trevor Bauer said, Yankees, I'll pitch for you for free.
Yeah, dude, Trevor Bauer is... And look, when it comes to Trevor Bauer, I think there's a lot of... And even I saw some speculation that it's like, because he supports Trump, he's not allowed in Major League Baseball anymore. Look, I think that when it comes to Trevor Bauer, it goes far beyond the allegations that were obviously bullshit, and that's been situated. And it goes beyond just talent. I think it really goes to people view him as such a distraction and a problem. I don't think it's because he supports Trump. There's plenty of other baseball players that are still in Major League Baseball that have been vocal at times and stuff like that. I really do think it's because of the way he interacts on social media. The fact that, man, if you do this, he's probably going to put it on his YouTube channel. I think that's what it has to do with Trevor Bauer. Ultimately, talent can always supersede drama level. And I would love if Trevor Bauer is back in the MLB. I think he should be in Major League Baseball. But I think a lot of teams, just the way he reacts and interacts with people, I think that is the key factor as to why he's not on a team right now.
Yeah.
Beyond anything else.
And he was like one of the most vocal during the whole Astros scandal. And then with the Pine Tar and the Spider Tech, pitching scandal. And he kind of like exposed that and stuff. And then you had like the umpires checking the pitchers, and they had to go through the routine checks after innings. Like, that's all because Trevor Bauer was calling out these pitchers for using Spider Tech and Pine Tar and other, foreign substances to get an extra edge on pitches. And I'm actually convinced, because Trevor Bauer used to be like so against like using any foreign substances, and then the MLB wasn't doing anything about it. That year with the Cincinnati Reds, when he won the Cy Young, when he got paid, I'm almost certain he just said fuck it and just started using foreign substances, because that year his rotations, his RPMs on his pitches skyrocketed that one season.
Yeah, after he had talked about Garrett Cole specifically, his like spin rates and stuff like that skyrocketing.
Yeah.
But look, I will always be thankful for Trevor Bauer because Trevor Bauer wanted to play with his drone and slice his finger open. He helped my Cubs win a World Series when he was on the Indians back in the day. So I will always be very thankful to Trevor Bauer for that. So, but we'll see. I 100% would love to see Trevor Bauer back in Major League Baseball, not only for his play, but also just because it will stir up and cause so much drama, the way he interacts with his teammates, other players, coaches, everything, right? Trevor Bauer's the same dude who, when they were coming out of the mound to take him out of the game, he fucking launched the ball over the center field fence, right? Like it does go just beyond, this one thing. That's why Trevor Bauer's not in. I think it's like a culmination of things. That's how I feel about it. But we'll see what happens with Trevor Bauer. Zenny Biscuit, American Promise dominated Virginia Derby by 7 3/4 lengths. The Justify Colt will likely be headed to the Kentucky Derby next with 89-year-old trainer D. Wayne Lucas. Wow. 7 3/4 lengths. That seems like a lot. Thank you, Zenny Biscuit. Taker for $5. I tried the Angel Reese combo at McDonald's, and afterward, I immediately missed a layup, and I wasn't even playing basketball. I'm not going to lie, man. When I've gone by McDonald's over the past few months and I've seen that Angel Reese combo, I'm like, God, it actually looks fucking good. But I'm not going to get it. I didn't get it out of principle. So I'm like, there's no fucking way I possibly can. Gabriel Knight, since Kentucky's roster is too beat to hell to make a run, I'll be pulling for Rick Pitino to win his third or second, if you go by NCAA official records, title. Pitino would have been the GOAT had he stayed at Kentucky. Yeah, I mean, Pitino at St. John's, he's got them rolling. They're probably going to be 3 seed, 2 seed, something like that, when everything, falls into place. So, yeah, not bad. I mean, I'm going to be rooting for Purdue, obviously. This is not Purdue's year. Purdue obviously lost Zach Edey last year, the best player in the country last year. And honestly, the fact that they're going to get like a 4 or 5 seed or something, and they've played shitty down the stretch with the talent that they have. That's what Matt Painter does there. They don't get talent, and he develops it. You look across and there's you might have one NBA player that comes out of Purdue every several years. Obviously, Zach Edey being one of those guys. But Big Ten Player of the Year this year, Braden Smith. I mean, Braden Smith has developed into this, and he's never going to be he's not an NBA guy. I would love it if Braden Smith could make it to the NBA at some point, but I don't really see him as an NBA guy. So it's just kind of, I always appreciate what they do with the talent they have. And all of those guys, the best thing for Purdue for the season that they're having now is that all of those guys are back next year. Smith is a junior. Trey Kaufman-Wren is a sophomore or a junior. Pretty much everybody, other than Caleb First, I think, who I don't think is a very key member of their team. I think everybody is probably coming back, which is awesome. At least for me. Mike Hill for 5. Congrats to Steph Curry for reaching 4,000 career three-pointers. Steph Curry has 1,000 more career three-pointers than what was Ray Allen's record? 3,100 or something? Let's see. Most three-pointers in history. Let's look.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah, because Steph Curry is right. Steph Curry is at over 4,000 now. The next closest. So Ray Allen didn't even get to 3,000. By the way, look at these fucking numbers, dude. And by the way, Golden State Warriors, since the addition of Jimmy G buckets, they're 14-2 since Jimmy Butler joined the team. And I think they're 14-1 in their last 15 games with Jimmy on the court. He has been an incredible presence for them. He's not sitting there looking to score 25 a game. He's facilitating. They're They're a top 3 defense since he's joined the team. Granted, they haven't played as tough a schedule as some others, but the Warriors are getting in. They're playing well at the right time in the lead up to the playoffs. But this is insane. Steph Curry has 4,000 career three-pointers made in 300 less games than Ray Allen, who didn't even hit 3,000. James Harden's still active, but trailing by about 900 three-pointers. He's obviously played in more games than Steph Curry has. Damian Lillard, 2,800. Klay Thompson, 2,600. Reggie Miller, 2,500. I don't know, man. We're probably seeing a record that I don't know. A lot of people are jacking up threes, but the way Steph Curry consistently drains them, I feel like this record is going to stand for a while because that's insane. And he's still got several years left. He's still got several years left. But yeah, 900 more than the closest in James Harden. It's fucking wild. Absolutely insane. What else do we have? Connor Akers, Angel Reese, aka Mrs. Layups. Mrs. Missed Layups. Should we start with I know you, Beardo, I know you. This is why I wanted to make sure you were here on this one. You are like the female basketball connoisseur.
Oh yeah, I love women's basketball.
Yeah, you love women's basketball, no doubt. Angel Reese, look, she's a hard worker. She's a bricklayer, literally, with what she does. But, you know, she has to be celebrated, everybody. Angel Reese has to be celebrated, no doubt about it. And when you look at some stories that have come out over the recent weeks, has been pretty interesting. Angel Reese, who consistently says the recent ratings success for the WNBA, it's all to do with her, nobody else. It's not Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese is just the main attraction. That must be the case, despite the fact that all the ratings were high when Caitlin Clark was playing, despite that all the attendance was high when Caitlin Clark was there, not because of Angel Reese. But she recently said that the WNBA, should go on strike if they don't give her what she deserves. And of course, there were some funny headlines about this, including from the Babylon Bee. WNBA players demand to be paid what they're worth, and now they owe the NBA $400 million. Because, yes, they have never, ever in the history of existence of the WNBA made a profit. They've always lost money. Even last year, when interest was higher than it's ever been before, ratings were higher than they've ever been before, they still lost $40 million. But Angel Reese, get excited for Angel Reese, Beardo, because she just received a prestigious, unrivaled award after a stellar season. And yes, she was the unrivaled defensive player of the year, Angel Reese. I mean, this is huge. This is enormous. This is incredible. Do you know what the unrivaled league is, Beardo?
I do not.
It's 3-on-3 basketball with like 6 teams. Right.
Okay.
So, and a lot of the stars aren't even playing. A lot of people aren't going to play in this little kitty thing, right? So it's this little niche thing. But she won Defensive Player of the Year. And the Chicago Sky. And she made second all unrivaled. She made all unrivaled second team.
Whoa. Wow. Second team, huh?
In this little high school rinky-dink 3-on-3 league they're playing. That's incredible. She was first in rebounds per game, first in offensive rebounds, first 2020 game in unrivaled history. This is their first season, and second in double-doubles. Well, look, I don't know how she could have gotten so many rebounds. Maybe those offensive rebounds, a lot of them had to do with her getting her own. Let's take a look at some Angel Reese highlights just from one game. Look at that shot.
Wow, look how many people are out in the crowd.
I know, it's huge, unrivaled. Oh, look at this. You got it, Angel. It's weird, right? That they didn't, that when the Chicago Sky tweeted all this out, they didn't mention anything about her field goal percentage. They didn't talk about anything like that, right? Just all these rebounds she's getting.
Yeah, off of her own missed layups.
She got one.
Whoa.
Look at this. There you go. That's a nice rebound. Good job, Angel Reese. Didn't even have to get it off your own miss that time. Oh, but that's rough.
Oh, man.
And again, this is 3-on-3, so the stats in this league are always going to be a little bit strange, but look at this.
Right.
Angel going up strong. Miss.
Oh, man. That's rough.
Going up strong against a small player. Oh, that's rough.
Damn.
This is the great Angel Reese, and obviously she did get roasted over this. By the way, look at some of these reactions. You had one guy who was, if Caitlin Clark put those numbers, she wouldn't be second team. She'd be first team. But then you have a lot of people saying this. First in turnovers per game, second in fouls committed, 17th out of 39 players in scoring, shot just 45% from the field as a big. Oof. Another fan added, lonely at the top of what? The Bricklayers Union? At the top, she didn't even make the first team. All these first, and she's on the second team? Yes. So Angel Reese, once again, kind of getting annihilated, especially after everyone's trying to celebrate the first defensive player of the year ever in history for the unrivaled league. And congratulations, Angel Reese. She is a really good defensive player. Now, even though she averaged fewer block shots and fewer steals than a lot of other people who probably should have won that, they decided to give that to Angel Reese. Solid defensive player, but the idea that this woman thinks she's as important as she is in terms of she's the reason people are tuning in. Look, people are not tuning in to watch this, Angel. Like, this is not it. This is not why people have been tuning in the WNBA in the recent year. It's because of Caitlin Clark, period.
Yeah.
Like, she's got this height advantage. And she plays, it's funny because she's relatively tall, right? Especially for a girl. And it always seems like she's doing everything she can to make herself short and fall away, especially on some of these plays like this. Like, just go up strong, draw the foul, do something. But no, this is Angel Reese, the Chi-Town Barbie, who needs to get paid what she deserves. $1 million for every missed layup.
Jeez.
That would be a lot of money.
Yeah, I saw earlier this week she was demanding more pay, and then like a few days later, the next day is like, yeah, well, I'm going to take it a step further. If we don't get paid as much as the men, then we're just going to go on strike, and you're not going to have the WNBA. And it's like, okay.
So NBA Central did a great post when a lot of this stuff was heating up, where they did a fake quote of Angel Reese saying, we deserve to get paid just as much as the men. Essentially, which wasn't true. She never said that, but they made a graphic of it and everything. And that shit blew the fuck up and went everywhere, especially because the story was similar, right? To her talking about not getting paid enough. They were going to strike. And then a big thing of hers that we deserve to get paid just as much as the men do. It wasn't true, but it was pretty funny. And how stupid for these women, these dumb, fucking, bitter, ugly, jealous women, right? They've had more people watching them than ever before because of Caitlin Clark. They are willing to sacrifice all of that, at any moment in time. Because they hate Caitlin Clark. They hate her because she's white. They hate that nobody paid attention to them before Caitlin Clark got there. It's embarrassing. It really is. Connor Akers. Angel Reese, a.k.a. Miss Layups. Oh, we just said that one. Chris Cranford, you got you guys playoff tickets for unrivaled games.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Angel Reese is injured, by the way. I don't think she's playing. So we'll see, though. Trump building that wall with Angel Reese's bricks. Probably could. Stephen De Leon for 2. Oh, great. These two douches.
Thank you, Stephen.
Bonesaw is ready for $5 with the NAACP defending that track runner. I got to ask, are there any NGOs that say they care about black people that actually do? BLM and NAACP don't. It's funny because a black girl got her skull cracked by another black girl, and NAACP felt it was the right thing for them to do, stand up for the violent black girl, as opposed to the one that was just running. But that's right on. I would expect nothing less from them. I would expect nothing less from them.
I've seen a whole bunch of different angles. It's like, look, she didn't even make contact with her. And then other angles where it's like clear as day. But people want to keep posting the one angle where it doesn't look like the contact was made or whatever. But then you see some really good, solid videos where it's like, yeah, she fucking bashed her in the head with the fucking baton.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We might as well go over that next, actually. I didn't see Tornado Freaks here. Stop giving WNBA promotion by talking about it every week. Who cares? Look, if you think that me showing clips of Angel Reese and how bad she looks on the floor and laughing at her and making fun of her, if you think that's promotion, then look, I'm also going to promote Tornado Freaks. Tornado Freaks, you sound like a retarded, dumb, cock-sucking bitch. There, I promoted you. I'm giving you free promotion, Tornado Freaks. You're welcome.
We also had some more NFL free agency news too. Cooper Kupp signing with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. 3 years, $45 million, I believe, $50 million per. I'm a little surprised by that one. You know, maybe they did just offer the most money, and obviously they need wide receivers badly after DK Metcalf gone. They released what's his name?
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, they released Tyler Lockett. So, you know, there was a need for them. So maybe they were willing to pay more than some other people were. I mean, that's a huge get for, you know, Sam Darnold going on that team that needed needed skill at the wide receiver position. And if Cooper Kupp stays healthy, I would love Cooper Kupp on my team, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
You might be rolling the dice a little bit with those injuries, but man, when he's out there, fuck, dude, I love Cooper Kupp.
Yep. You got Najee Harris is out with in LA with the Chargers. Joey Bosa got let go by the Chargers. Now he signed a contract with the Buffalo Bills.
Did that officially go through, the Bosa Buffalo Bills one?
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. Okay. Yeah, that's huge.
Yep. Joey Bosa's with the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, Devontae Adams signed with the Rams. And maybe the most important free agency pickup so far this offseason. I don't even know if you've heard about this one, Ryan. It was like, it's probably the most important. With Aaron Rodgers now, you know, in conversation with Minnesota, the Pittsburgh Steelers might be out of the Aaron Rodgers, you know, negotiation here. The Pittsburgh Steelers are bringing back Mason Rudolph on a 1-year deal. Look, that's huge, man.
They are bringing back Mason Rudolph. I fully think they intend him to be the backup for whoever they end up getting. You know, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, I feel like both of them are right now in holding patterns. And because none of the teams who think, like the Giants, for instance, right? The Giants have talked to Russ. I think Russ would be fine with going to the Giants potentially. But the Giants aren't going to make that move until Aaron Rodgers makes a fucking decision.
Correct.
And of course, Aaron Rodgers, he loves this. Aaron Rodgers loves the fact that everybody's talking about where he'll go. I think it's going to be Pittsburgh or the Giants. I think the Vikings are a long shot. But I haven't ruled it out completely. But yeah, it's tough. If it's me, I'm signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. No questions fucking asked. I'm signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it's not me. It's Aaron Rodgers. And this is Aaron Rodgers who likes to get his way all the time. And regardless of what you think about Mike Tomlin as a coach, he's in lockstep with the Pittsburgh Steelers front office. They're not going to be walked over. They're not going to play those games. So I don't know. Like to me, that's a no fucking brainer. Is go there, go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That gives you the best chance to win and end your career on a high note. If you go to the Giants, man, you could be looking at a repeat of what we saw last year. Don't you think? You're a Giants fan, I get that, but don't you think that's the case?
Yeah, the Giants, out of the 3 teams, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and the Giants for Aaron Rodgers, the Giants are at the bottom of the list. it could absolutely be a repeat of his tenure with the Jets. I wouldn't want to go to New York.
Like, as of this morning, now he doesn't have to move. I guess that's a positive. But
Right.
as of this morning, the Steelers and the Giants both have offers, standing offers to Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings do not. And that's why I said I think the likelihood of that is a little bit less so. God. Like, they got JJ McCarthy as well, and I think they were excited about JJ McCarthy last year. They were solid with him as their starter going in. He gets injured. All right, we'll go with our backup, Sam Darnold.
They had a great year.
Who had an incredible year for them.
Early exit in the playoffs, but he had a great year. He got paid. Now it's like, what are the Vikings thinking? Oh shit, we're built to win right now. Do we want to throw a rookie or sophomore quarterback out there? And what if it doesn't work out? But if we bring in another veteran, I think we can all agree, well, maybe not now, and Aaron Rodgers is very old, into his 40s now at this point. Is Aaron Rodgers a better fit? Does Aaron Rodgers give you a better chance to win than Sam Darnold did last year? Who knows? I think you would like to think that Aaron Rodgers would, but his age and his attitude, you never know. It might be a coin flip on who's the better fit, Sam Darnold or Aaron Rodgers. But I still think that Aaron Rodgers gives you a better chance to win right now than JJ McCarthy does.
Yeah. I mean, look, if the Vikings decide they want to go with it, he'll sign there because that's the best team, the best head coach for him, like all that stuff. But they haven't made any offers. And that's the thing. That's what we're sitting on. They don't know what they want to do. They don't want to know if they want to go with 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. They don't know if they want to go with JJ McCarthy, who they were feeling solid about last year and not so much this year. So it's what we're waiting for. And then when that chip falls, that's going to determine where Russell Wilson goes. I think Russell Wilson goes to the New York Giants as soon as the New York Giants realize they're probably out of play for that. How do you feel about Russell Wilson on the Giants?
I'd take him. I'd actually prefer Russ over Rodgers. Less headaches, I think, as far as like the locker room.
What's his catchphrase going to be?
I think he's done with that, dude. He got embarrassed. He got so embarrassed in Denver, and just like he thought Denver was going to be his, forever home. He thought he was going to retire in Denver, and
Broncos country.
Let's ride. And he got absolutely embarrassed, man. That's why you didn't see him pulling that shenanigans in Pittsburgh.
He did have one. It was like win the 7th or something.
The 7th, yeah. But he quickly backed off on that because I remember there was the one Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh when Trump was there, when Trump was rallying in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won. I think they beat the Jets on that Sunday Night Football. And they asked him, because he had a great game, especially a great second half. And they asked him after the game, what do you have to say? You have your catchphrase ready. He's like, oh, we're going to save that one. He didn't say it. He could have. He absolutely could have. And I think Russ of old would have done it. But he didn't. Because he got absolutely embarrassed in Denver.
Yeah, he got humbled, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be something like Big Blue. Something about Big Blue. Let's get him, Big Blue.
Now, I've heard the Browns have also expressed interest in Russell Wilson. I think he went and talked to the Browns as well. But God.
Yeah. And also, we're going to have a quarterback competition in Indy. Daniel Jones signed a deal with the Colts.
And Anthony Richardson.
And apparently Jim Irsay said that there's nothing given to Anthony Richardson right now, that he wants a quarterback competition.
Well, you saw Pat McAfee getting blasted for that, right? Let me actually bring that up if I can find it.
Here's the thing.
That was from a couple days ago, obviously, when that signing came out. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Jones does beat out Anthony Richardson in camp.
I mean, I very famously have never been much of a fan of
Anthony Richardson.
Yes, of Anthony Richardson. I think he's a fucking bum. I think he's never on the field. He's an athletic freak, man. He's an athletic freak, but I just don't think he's a quarterback.
He's a glass cannon. And regardless, even if Anthony Richardson does win the quarterback battle in camp and is named the starter for week 1, Daniel Jones is going to play and start games this year no matter what. Because Anthony Richardson, he can't play all 17 games.
I mean, he's only had 2 seasons, right? So we are talking about a guy who's only had 2 seasons. 2 seasons for Anthony Richardson, right?
Yeah, and like 3 concussions.
Yeah, and more importantly, I just don't see much of anything there. You know, you might see a flash. Oh wow, a great downfield pass as they're fucking loading the box to counter Jonathan Taylor and the running ability of Anthony Richardson and a fairly wide open receiver. Look at that long bomb. These are the things you can do with Anthony Richardson. But he's like a 45% thrower. Like I just don't see it. I want to see if this is the clip from Pat McAfee. Yeah. So this was when the news came out that Daniel Jones was going to the Indianapolis Colts. Some people had some thoughts about that. It's not like Daniel Jones was a particularly highly sought after player. But it does sound like he's going to compete with Anthony Richardson for the starting job. Probably why Daniel Jones is willing to go somewhere like that instead of, it sounded like Minnesota wanted him back as some sort of a backup. He wasn't interested in that. He wants to go play somewhere he might be able to start. That's a good place to go because Anthony Richardson, 1, is barely ever on the field, and 2, when he is on the field, kind of looks like dog shit. And Pat McAfee has had a little bit of a bitterness with some people in the Colts organization because he has been critical of Anthony Richardson, like when Anthony Richardson was too tired and had to walk off the field at one point this season. Well, Pat McAfee said Anthony Richardson should request a trade and just get the fuck out of town. And he gave a little sarcastic remark on his on the Pat McAfee show. And a lot of people were not happy about this.
New start somewhere else is what Anthony Richardson needs. And you know what? If that's the case, if he does look to go somewhere else, we will appreciate the hell out of his time in this city. And we will be thankful that we were able to be like grade school for him to learn how to play football and be a football player and be a professional and everything like that. And I think he would have massive success somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got to learn how to be a pro for sure. And, Coach Nation's torn on Anthony Richardson. And Coach Nation has
the more they learn about him, though, they probably wouldn't be torn if I had
The more they learn about him, the more they probably wouldn't be torn. And Pat McAfee's getting roasted for this. Just whenever he kind of comes out with a take like this, you're always going to have some people that are pissed about it. Some Colts fans that are mad that Pat McAfee would say that about their quarterback. Guess what? He's being realistic. I think Anthony Richardson is never going to be a thing at quarterback in the NFL. And granted, we haven't seen a lot of him, but I haven't liked what I've seen. And I'm fine with Pat McAfee blowing him the fuck out, especially with this bitterness now surrounding him in the Colts organization. What do you think?
I've never been a huge fan of Anthony Richardson either. He's a big body. He's got a strong arm, but he gets injured a lot. And you see him lay his body out on the line too. Like when he's scrambling and he's trying to, it's almost like you see with Tua sometimes where Tua puts his body on the line and he goes down head first into plays. It's like, Tua, what are you fucking thinking? Like you have a consistent history with being concussed. Why are you scrambling, running around and laying your shoulder down and going in head first into a fucking hit? You see Anthony Richardson do the same thing. You've seen some flashes of him where he plays halfway decent and then the next game goes full retard mode. So, no, I don't think Anthony Richardson is a starting quarterback in the league. He gets injured too much, man. So, I do think it's interesting that it came out very early that the Colts are looking to have a quarterback competition between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. I don't think either of them are very good.
I don't think so either. No.
No.
I don't think that Daniel Jones is like, that's the Colts solution at quarterback. However, it does at least give you an experienced option to turn to. And you know what? If nothing else, maybe it does make Anthony Richardson get a little more fucking serious about this, because that's one of the things that Pat McAfee has been talking about, that he doesn't take it seriously, that he doesn't know how to be a pro, that he doesn't know how to be a professional athlete. And maybe this is a kick in the ass. It could go one of two ways. Anthony Richardson could get all pissy and snub that they would bring in a guy like this, and how dare they, and maybe he does ask for a trade, whatever. Or he can fucking suck it up, take it really seriously, and go out there and try to show the world, I am that guy. I am that guy. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show it to you. Fuck Daniel Jones. Fuck anybody for doubting me. Look what I do on the field. I don't think that'll happen, but it could happen. It could happen. And also, I did put him in the thumbnail, so we have to talk about it. If I can find where I put this shit. Where are we? Jamar Chase is very close to signing a deal. If I could actually find this shit. Here it is. Found it. We've had a lot of free agency things, all this stuff going on. We've also had some extensions taking place, and I don't think it's been officially announced yet. However, it does sound like the Cincinnati Bengals, with a lot of decisions to make, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, T. Higgins, it sounds like they're selling out on the offensive side of the ball, because although it hasn't been officially announced that it's finalized, it sounds like it's a pretty done deal, that they are extending not only Jamar Chase, but also T. Higgins. And Jamar Chase's contract is set to break the record that was just recently set for a non-quarterback. Over $41 million per year is what the expectation is for Jamar Chase. And they think T. Higgins will get just under $30 million per year. So you are now talking about, with two players at the wide receiver position, you are now outspending every other fucking team out there, I believe, at the wide receiver position, which I think is going to make it tough to compete in general. That's kind of crazy. Cincinnati would be committing more money to the receiver position than any other team. The Miami Dolphins are spending just under $66.4 million for their receivers. All of their receivers. All of them. Not just two. And the Philadelphia Eagles and Rams are the only two surpassing $60 million for all of their receivers. I mean, I think Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in the league. That's a lot of fucking money for these guys, though. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, man. And especially when I think that the Bengals' struggles are their offensive line and their defense. They were one of the highest scoring teams in the league last year, and their defense just kept other teams in games. I mean, we all remember how the Bengals season went last year. Not very good. Missed the playoffs. Joe Burrow had an MVP type season. Unbelievable season for Joe Burrow last year, but their defense is just straight up dog shit. And their offensive line too. They have one bright
spot on that defense, which is Trey Hendrickson, who was a monster last year, who they also need to re-sign.
Right.
And when these go through, I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough pie left for Trey Hendrickson to get a deal. So I don't know if they try to move him or something like that. But, this is one of those things where Jamar Chase, like I said, I do think he's the best wide receiver in the league. I do think you have to find a way to keep him. That's a lot of money, but you got to find a way to keep him. But are you desperately trying to keep T. Higgins because that's what Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow want to stay happy? Are you, because your quarterback wants this and you want him to be happy, are you giving him that money instead of maybe doing the smart thing? I think T. Higgins is really good. But is it worth doing that and hamstringing yourself for the next several years and not being able to fill your team out the right way? I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you got to make decisions and get rid of people that other people on the team really like and really want to have there and all that shit. But it turns out to be the right decision for the team overall. And these guys are getting their fucking bag. They're getting their money. So happy for them whenever that eventually does go through. But I don't know if that's the best thing for the Bengals in the future.
Right. And you sign this contract, and like you said, they're going to be tight on money, and they're going to be in a position to, we must win now, or we're going to be looking at trading guys and a potential rebuild in 5 years' time by signing these guys.
Yeah. And who knows what T. Higgins is worth if he goes somewhere else and is the number one guy, right? Because I do think T. Higgins could go somewhere else and be the number one guy. Be interesting to see the money or like the money that he would get for that. However, that might be his market value. But when you're not the number one guy there, are you spending this money in the right way? And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of
interesting
money. Again, we wanted to remind you guys, March Madness is coming up. Obviously, if you like watching conference tournament basketball, that's been going on all week. We have 2 games that are coming up, or sorry, 3 games, but really only 2 games that fucking matter, to be honest with you. SEC championship, Tennessee versus Florida. Florida's been playing out of their minds lately in this last final stretch. But Tennessee's been, the SEC is fucking crazy good this year in basketball. They just are. It's been their year, no doubt about it. When you look at Auburn, when you look at Alabama, when you look at Florida, Tennessee's up there, all those guys. You do have the American Athletic Conference Championship, which is UAB versus Memphis. The only thing there, if Memphis doesn't win, Memphis will probably make the tournament anyway. They're probably an 8 or 9 seed. They'll probably be in even if they lose. But if they don't get that auto bid and UAB gets it, who probably wouldn't be in, that might knock somebody else out. Potentially. Hopefully IU. Fuck the Hoosiers. And then the Big Ten Championship, Wisconsin versus Michigan. Both teams playing good at the right time. Michigan kicked the shit out of my Purdue Boilermakers a few days ago, which sucked. But Michigan's found a way to win these games, even the tight ones. But Wisconsin's playing really fucking well. I think I'll take Michigan in the game, though. I think I'll take Michigan. But after that, we have March Madness Selection Sunday, and we're going to get the full brackets, all of that stuff out there. First play-in games for the 68, whatever. That starts Tuesday. So make sure you guys click the link, fill out your bracket, join the Sports Wars group if you want to do that. If you do want to do that. But
fill it out tonight or tomorrow.
You got to.
Yep.
You got to.
What do you think? Are you buying into the rumors that Gronk wants to come back and play for the Bengals or the Broncos?
Look, somebody reported that. I think maybe Ian Rappaport or something shut it down. He said, "No, this is bullshit. This isn't real." I don't know if we've heard anything from Gronk specifically about it, but I would be shocked if it was real. Like, I would be shocked if he came back.
Yeah, I'm not buying into it either, but I thought it was interesting.
He has been working out, but he likes to work out. He's a fucking
yeah. He's always in shape.
All right. Where was I? Cam Smith looking pretty good, says McCock. Do you think the Cubs made a good trade, and do you think they'll keep Tucker for more than a year? I'll be real. Listen, I love my Cubs. I love the Chicago Cubs, and I'm be rooting like crazy for them to this year. But I don't really understand the trade because we did give up a lot and potentially only 1 year of Justin Tucker to get for a team that is probably going to be fairly mediocre to maybe win a couple extra games. I don't know. I hope it works out. Did I say Justin Tucker?
No, you just said Tucker.
Okay, Kyle Tucker. I was gonna say in my brain thought I just said Justin Tucker, which
maybe you did. I don't know.
No, Kyle Tucker. But we'll see. I wish that spring training in Florida was like spring training in Arizona. Spring training in Florida is fucking lame and gay.
It's all over the place, right?
Yeah, you'd have to drive like fucking 400 miles to like go between these places. Whereas in Arizona, it's awesome because it's all in basically one big loop around the city, just like all around the outskirts of Phoenix. Whereas Grapefruit League is all over the state of Florida. It's like, Fort Lauderdale and Tampa and Miami and fucking everywhere.
Yeah. So the Tampa Bay Rays, because their stadium got destroyed in the hurricane, so they're going to be playing at the Yankees facility, George Steinbrenner Field, for this year and possibly for the foreseeable future. Because have you heard about the Orlando Dreamers and that people are got a whole bunch of these fucking rich heads who are trying to organize a new ballpark built here in Orlando, and they're fighting for either an expansion team or to have the Rays move to Orlando?
So I do not know the full details of all these things, but I did when I was at the gym the other day. I was on the fucking treadmill and I couldn't hear it, but I saw something that Tampa had a stadium plan, not in Tampa, but in St. Petersburg. And that deal is apparently like falling apart. And there's a lot of people that are very unhappy about that. I don't know how well, like, if they came to Orlando, how well it would do. Nobody fucking goes to Rays games, man. Nobody goes to them. Now, part of it is because the stadium's a massive pile of shit. Part of it is because of where it's at. But I don't know. I would love it if they fucking came to Orlando. That's the first I've heard about them possibly coming to Orlando. I felt like they were always going to stay in the Tampa area. They're just trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, sir. So the Orlando Dreamers committee, they're fighting for either a brand new expansion team or if the Rays want to relocate, if the MLB will approve of the Rays relocating to Orlando. It's one of the two, either a brand new team or the Rays going. It'd make more sense if the Rays just moved to Orlando. And that the concept for the stadium that they want to build is fucking incredible. Just look up Orlando Dreamers Stadium.
Orlando Dreamers Stadium.
Just go to like Google Images or something.
Baseball Dreamers Arena.
It's got the stadium and it's got this entire like indoor climate controlled like park outside of it, and they're gonna put like a mall and restaurants and bars, and it's gonna like there's gonna be this indoor grass. It'll probably be turf, but
this started in 2019. They've been trying to do this. They've been trying to push for this. With the opening of Universal Studios theme park in May 2025, in addition to high-speed rail connecting Orlando to South Florida, Orlando could reach 100 million tourists per year. Jesus Christ. Traffic's only going to get worse here.
Oh, yeah, the I-4 is just going to be fucking gnarly.
Oh, this is it?
Worse. That's it. If you want to pull it up on the screen.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you weren't sharing it.
The fact that now StreamYard doesn't like auto add it. You have to go and add it.
Yeah. So that right there. So you got hotels on each side of the right field and left field there. And then you got one big hotel at the very end of the park. So you have the stadium, and then behind center field, you have that here's see it. You have like this park.
You got the little park that a lot of people
have. You got the little park,
yeah.
But it's going to be like a mile long. And there's going to be like cornhole and outdoor activities and like this entire thing right there behind center field. It's going to be like this park where you're going to have like breweries and shops and restaurants, and you're going to be able to go from your hotel straight into that park behind center field. And this is going to be freaking massive. I mean, this is all concept right now, obviously, but if MLB approves of them putting a brand new expansion team or moving the Rays here, this is going to be like SoFi Stadium on steroids.
You know, the problem is, look, I would love to have a professional baseball team in Orlando. I'm going to a Magic game in a couple weeks here, but I would love to have professional baseball in Orlando. I'd go all the time. The problem, if I'm Major League Baseball, I already have two teams in Florida that can't pull anybody, right? No one's going to Miami games. No one's going to Tampa games. We're really going to add a third. I don't think an expansion team makes sense. Now for the Rays, for if the Rays did that, I think that could make a ton of sense, but I think that's got a lot of moving pieces as well. And who are the people that are running this Dreamers thing, versus the ownership group for the Rays? Like they might not have the same visions for a lot of things as well. So I don't know.
And if the Rays move to Orlando, change the name back to the Devil Rays. That was so much cooler.
Yeah.
Their uniforms were better too.
But yeah, I think that I don't think an expansion team's gonna work. But hey, we'll see. Fuck, I didn't think Vegas would get a team, but A's are moving there. So
yep.
Yeah, I don't think MLB needs expansion right now, though, personally.
No. The divisions are well set right now. An expansion team would just mess everything up.
And then, we do get the expansion teams and everything gets worked out and everything's fine, I guess, again. True. I remember when the Astros were fucking in the NL Central. Stephen De Leon for 2. What's a good hotel to stay at close to the meetup? I don't know, Stephen De Leon. I haven't got mine yet. I know the meetup location is north of the Strip, but south of like Fremont Street and everything. So it's in that area. But I don't fucking know. I haven't booked my hotel yet. Taker, there's a short on YouTube of Angel Reese just getting blocked repeatedly and another of a hilarious fast break where her layup misses everything. It's rough. Kevin Cron, I love the hockey stream on Locals. Thank you, Beardo, for hosting them.
You're welcome.
And we will be
Thank you for joining in.
We'll be doing some form of March Madness watch party over there too.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't think we can go 12 hours. But especially this first weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're gonna have something going on over on Locals. So check it out. That is one of my favorite sports times of the year is this long weekend. So, but I will not be happy. I will not be happy watching Purdue because it's going to be probably a 4-13, a 5-12. It's going to bring up bad memories for me of Purdue. So we'll see. Mexican Iron Man, we should deport WNBA chicks along with the illegals. Definitely deport the ugly gay ones. Taker for 2. Cup played at Eastern Washington from Yakima, Washington. Yeah, nobody thought Cooper Kupp was going to be anything. And now he's a Super Bowl MVP. He was Super Bowl MVP for that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Alex McCarthy, Rodgers going full Favre. I like it. Yeah. I mean, he might if the Vikings want him. I'd be worried about exposing JJ McCarthy to Aaron Rodgers and destroying JJ McCarthy. If I were them. But hey.
Possible.
Mike Hill, Aaron Rodgers will follow the Brett Favre path, Packers to Jets to Vikings. It would be insane if he does, but it's a possibility. Raven and Writing Desk, member for 11 months. Thank you. I said, if I had to bet on it, I think he ends up in Pittsburgh. That's where I think Aaron Rodgers ends up. I know he wants to go to the Vikings, but if it's taken this long, if the Vikings don't know now whether they want him or not, and it's been a week, I don't know. Burn for 5. I hope the Vikings do grab Rodgers and just crush JJ's confidence. This is a classic corner-cutting Vikings move that keeps them perennial pretenders. Giants Nation. Let's tank.
Let's tank.
What if he goes to the Browns?
Shit. No, they just traded for their starting quarterback, Kenny Pickett.
No. Browns. Let's pound.
Browns. Let's pound.
Yeah, Cleveland Nation. Let's pound.
Yeah.
That could be it. Saw chasing your thumbnail. Go Bengals. Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, I think Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver. I think he deserves to get paid, but I don't know if you can afford to pay him and T. Higgins. Cooper Rush heading to Baltimore to back up Lamar Jackson.
Did that happen?
Potentially. And the Ravens also signed DeAndre Hopkins as well.
Right.
They signed DeAndre Hopkins there, so another target. And obviously, at this point in his career, DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to be solid and reliable. He doesn't get that separation, doesn't get all that stuff. But another target up there for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see if that works out. Bengals front office is the dumbest in sports. Let Chase go, keep Higgins, and spend that Chase money on improving the O-line and defense. Bengals care more about filling seats and winning rings.
If the Bengals let Chase go, it'll be only a matter of time before Joe Burrow requests a trade.
Yeah,
they're a package deal.
Chase is the guy you got to keep, in my opinion.
Correct.
He's the guy you have to keep.
Yep.
And because I just think that there's a talent gap. Like, to me, it's like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, kind of the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I think T. Higgins is definitely up there in terms of his talent, what he's capable of doing.
He's a good deep ball threat.
He's not that guy. And so I think if you do everything you can to keep Chase there. But the T. Higgins one, that's the money where it's like, would that money be better spent? Let's just take two players. Is that money better spent on T. Higgins, or is it better spent on Trey Hendrickson? Or is it better spent on some other defensive pieces, offensive line pieces for you? I'm not a fucking GM. I'm just some idiot talking, but that's just my initial takeaway. Chris Coran becomes a YouTube member, probably re-ups. Thank you, Chris. Rabid one, the track situation. I wish we would have just paid more for cotton. The savings would be immeasurable today.
Jeez Louise.
Thank you, Rabid one. But let's actually get into that. I was hoping John would be able to join us because it's always good to have John here when we're talking about Black culture. But unfortunately, he's not here. He's not. But we got to get to this shit. All right. Pop this up. Share the whole screen. All right. And fucking add the screen because now I have to do that bullshit. But yes, last weekend we saw a pretty shocking display in women's high school track of all places when during the 4x100 meter relay, one opponent was passing another one, got kind of close. And one of them smashed her in the head with her baton. Ended up with a concussion, possible skull fracture. Pretty disgusting. And obviously, it went viral right away. Watch this. Hit her pretty hard. Looks pretty intentional. I don't think there's any way you can get around it. Yet somehow, the young woman who is the one that did the bashing said, it was just an accident. I didn't do anything wrong. I just got off balance. My arm got stuck. You guys, you're all judging me. She's crying and breaking down as if she's the victim. When, by the way, she has now been charged with assault and battery, for the record, misdemeanor assault and battery. She said it's just the angle. Well, then we got a new angle, and it doesn't look any better for her. And look, this is a young girl. I get it. It's a young girl, but this is peak victimhood mentality, and this is what happens when you see some of these big PR law firms, NAACP, get involved to try to make someone look like a victim after doing something like this.
Everybody has feelings. So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right?
Holy fuck.
Angle. There are a couple times hitting her my baton.
I love the smoke alarm.
Smoke detector chirp was not added.
Chirp. No.
It's not in Beardo's house. It's not in my house. The smoke detector chirp was in this young girl's house where they filmed this interview.
And they kept it in. I love it.
Make it up. Okay? You can't make it up. You might be physically hurt, but you're not thinking about my mental. When everybody saw what I did and gave me a hard time for it, now I have to deal with that.
We're off of one angle. There are a couple times hitting her my baton. Got stuck behind her back like this. and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit. I know.
That's not losing your balance and pumping your arm. That is intentionally trying to hit her. Now, whether that's because she was past you, whether it's because in your opinion she got too close and did bump you and the baton got caught or whatever, and you in a moment lost control and like lashed out. You know, that's probably what happened. And if that's the case, would people be giving you a lot of shit? Of course they would. But if you're just honest about it and own it, it's kind of over. But that's not what's happening.
Well, her track career would be over.
Hit somebody
Maybe.
on purpose. They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video.
Well, now it's gotten to the next level, Beardo, because this track runner who bashed opponent's head with baton, not only were they charged with assault and battery, but now they're holding a rally in support of her. Now, this video went viral. Hundreds of people gathered to support track star Aaliyah Everett after believing she's being wrongfully accused of purposefully attacking another track star. And of course, very tearful. Hundreds of people. Well, community note, photos from the event show a few dozen, not hundreds. Okay, thank you, community notes.
Thank you.
We stand with you. That's why we're here. We stand with you. We support you.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
Now, all this shit is being organized and defended by like the NAACP. By the way, a black girl got her skull cracked by her, but forget about her, I guess, NAACP. You got to go for this. This is what the rally actually looked like, by the way. This post got ratioed to hell, but
17-year-old young lady.
this was it. There's this clip again, but you can see there's like a handful of people there. There's more press and media than there are supporters. Nevertheless, that's what we have. They're holding a big old rally to defend and support this track runner. This is just bullshit because it's obvious that you didn't just lose your balance. You meant to hit her. You tried to hit her. It might not have been premeditated just in the moment, like whatever, but you did it. And now you're falling back on all this same bullshit. It's racist to talk about this. I'm a victim in all this. You're not thinking about my mental chirp. Like, that's what's going on here. And everybody can see right through it. What do you think about this insane? This has been going on for a week now, this story.
No, I agree. I think it was like a split moment, split decision, just like a sudden urge, like, I could totally hit this woman right now, and she acted on impulse. It was a split impulse decision that probably went through her head. We all have those impulse decisions. Like I don't know, if you're like at a bar and you like somebody pisses you off and bumps into you, it's like, I could totally fucking slug this guy in the face right now, but you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Those split impulse decisions, but she fucking did it. And I think that's what it is. Now, who knows if these runners had beef before, like if they've been hyper competitive, maybe like in high school, and now they're meeting together in college. I don't know.
This is high school, by the way.
Oh, this is high school. Okay, this high school. So maybe they have had some beef. Maybe they've competed for the past several years. I don't know what grade she's in high school, but it's likely that they've competed against each other before. So is there some history here between these two runners? I agree with you. I think it was a split impulse decision where the thought crossed her mind, I can totally hit her with the baton right now. She's, maybe getting too close into my lane here. And those are impulse decisions that you don't fucking act on. Nobody should fucking act on them, but your mind goes there sometimes, and she fucking just did it.
Yeah, I totally think that, not only are you getting past, right? But then in your opinion, and maybe really she got a little too close to the point where your baton did impact her, and maybe that throws off your shot, and you're pissed. And you're just like, what the fuck? And you just like lash out. That's what I think happened. Yep. But the problem is it's been turned into this big thing, and they're trying to pretend like it's all racial. You hit a black girl, right? I know, look, the media, we usually don't care about black on black crime, doesn't get too much attention. But the fact that it's all being turned into her trying to claim the NAACP coming out there trying to claim it's a race thing, you attacked another black girl. That's who the victim was in this. It was just disgusting for people to see something happen like this at a track meet. And guess what? You didn't come up to this girl afterwards and ask if she was okay. None of that happened, according to the family of the girl who actually got hit. So that might have played a role in why they did decide to press charges against you. And, you know, maybe this fake victimhood mentality will work on retarded people. Probably will for some. And it'll be, she was wrongly accused. But I don't think it's going to work on most people, especially anyone with above a room temperature IQ.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, though.
We'll see. We will see. I think there was also probably some history there as well.
I don't know. Like it was a state track meet. So the chances of them, you know, and I don't even think they were like the anchor legs. They were like the second leg. So it's not like they're elite or anything. This is just me based off the little I know about it. I think it could just be as easy as fucking, she got too close to me. She bumped me. Fuck that bitch. That's, look, I mean, world star. You know what I mean? It's not like this would be uncommon. The Raven and Writing Desk for 2. Montreal would love a team, but the big O is shite. You guys had a team. Steven De Leon, I love signing Reuters, who missed the first 6 games. Was Joey Bosa going to get popped or something? Is that what you're saying? As a Bills fan, Steven De Leon? Wolfsbane for 199. Does Reese even have a jumper? Or is she that bad? You saw some of her jumpers. They're bad. Like, she had one of the worst field goal percentages in the league last year from within 5 feet of the basket. She's a big. A lot of those rebounds are off her own shit. Enrico Palazzo for 5. Las Vegas Aviators have home games the week of the meetup if you're interested in going. Do they really? Let's see. That's your like are they AAA? AA? They are the AAA affiliate. They are the AAA affiliate.
Okay.
Games. Enrico, it'll be good to see you, man. Enrico Palazzo.
Oh, yeah.
I still need to book my hotels, but I am planning on being there for a while. Probably like a week or something. So we'll see. That might be fun, Enrico. It'll be really fun when the A's are actually in town, too.
The A's move in. Yep.
Whenever that fucking happens. Let me look at their schedule. Season schedule. Why won't it load? Here we go. Yeah, so the first couple games start in March. And then, yes, they do have, they're in that basically that whole from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They got home games. That'll be cool. Maybe we'll have to take you up on that, Enrico. Chris Coran for 2. This is the peak of victimhood mentality. Chirp. Steven De Leon. It was Hope and Ogunjobi that got popped. Did that just happen?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, it did. The new additions. New Bills additions. Ogunjobi and Hope suspended 6 games for PEDs.
When was that? How many days ago was that? The
story came out like yesterday or the day before, I think. That's rough.
Yeah, and Cooper Rush signed a 2-year deal with the Ravens.
Like, where did Hoke come from? Let's look. The team was aware of Hoke's suspension in advance. So you got one guy from the Rams, one guy from the Steelers. Both of them pop for fucking PEDs.
Nice.
That sucks. Nuck 82 for 10. I think Rodgers 100% thought he was going to the Rams with Adams, and Matt took such a discount they kept him. And why Rodgers has to think Vikings like Brett walk more in those footsteps or Steelers.
I'd love to see him go to the Vikings. I think that'd be so funny.
I wouldn't like it. I just got this dumb cocksucking bitch out of my decision, out of my division. Like, I just got this fucking old man piece of shit out of my division after years of him dominating us. Stay the fuck away. That's what I think. But I don't know. For some reason, okay, I think we're good over on Rumble. My chat kind of
jumped on you.
It was like kind of frozen up, but I think we're good over on Rumble. At least I don't see anything over there. So thank you for those of you that always hang out over on Rumble.
Yep.
Did you guys see the Mavs story? Says Dom. I did see the Mavs story, and it's kind of crazy. Let me actually pull this up. Beardo again, NBA aficionado.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very interesting going down the stretch. Like the seeding in the West is going to be so close for those kind of, teams 2 through 6, 7, whatever it may be. Warriors, Lakers, Nuggets, like those are all going to be very interesting to watch as we like head towards playoff time. But one team that has had basically everything go wrong this season is the Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks have had a pretty rough stretch over the past few weeks. And it really started with them deciding to trade Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis and effectively nothing else. And a lot of criticism for the Dallas Mavericks over that time from their fan base, from virtually every talking head in the NBA. Not necessarily how could you trade Luka? I mean, how could you trade Luka Doncic? But if you're going to do it, at least get some actual value for him instead of just gifting LeBron James yet another all-NBA player to play with. But things have gotten significantly worse for the Mavericks. Not only did Anthony Davis immediately injure himself upon him taking the floor for the Dallas Mavericks, but then Kyrie Irving, your other all-star, goes down with a torn ACL. He's out for the season. And now these injuries are starting to just stack up for them to the point where the Dallas Mavericks might be in danger of being forced to forfeit games because they don't have enough players.
Wow.
ESPN, Mavs could be forced to forfeit NBA games amid injuries and salary cap rules. Now, this is a little bit complicated, but over about a week or two from now is the time frame we're talking about. And it has a lot to do with injuries. It also has a lot to do with the fact that they're so hard up against the cap, they cannot actually sign anyone else. And all of the two-way players that spend some time in the G League, some time in the NBA, all of them are up against their limit for the amount of games they're allowed to contractually play in the NBA this year.
Whoa.
This is fucking wild. The first issue is the team losing players due to injury. Kyrie Irving, Oliver Maxson's Prosper, Dante Exum out for the year. Anthony Davis still out. Derek Lively still out. Daniel Gafford still out. Stated all three are improving, but there's no timetable for their returns. Jaden Hardy, Kai Jones, PJ Washington have all been out since this time. However, Jones and Washington are both questionable, leaving hope they could return soon. But for right now, it leaves Brandon Williams, Dwight Powell, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, Caleb Martin, Max Christie, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Kessler Edwards as the lone healthy players. You need at least 7, I believe, maybe 8 to actually play. Let's see. Williams and Edwards are two-way players. Per the G League website, two-way players can only be active up to 50 games with their NBA team. Edwards had played 47, while Williams has played 44. So Edwards can only be active for 3 more games. Williams only active for 6. and they don't have any flexibility to actually sign anyone else. So we could see when these players who are active right now, when they hit their limits and they can't go, that the Mavs won't actually be able to field a fucking squad, and they'll be forced to forfeit upcoming NBA games. And somehow they're still in the playoff picture. Like, with all of this happening, that is fucking nuts. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like that, if I'm being honest. Like, if you're looking at March 24th, where they need to either get some players healthy or they're fucked. Not a good look for the Mavericks. It seems like it's not their year, and they really brought it upon themselves after moving off Luka Doncic, the way it happened, the flack that they caught. Not good karma for the Mavs this year. I did see the Mavs story.
Man, that's crazy.
I did see that. Where am I? That Matt Freese deal was wild. Seattle offered 3 years. Thank you, Taker. Steven DeLeon for 2. Fuck the Giants. Go Bills.
Cool.
Why do you even hate the Giants that much?
Yeah. Come on, Steve.
I guess it is another New York team. Technically New Jersey, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Bills don't got to worry about the Giants. Oh, I know. It's because of the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, Bills Giants, wide right. That's why Steve hates the Giants.
Good point.
Yeah.
Emilio. Thank you, Emilio, with 10 gifted memberships. 10 gifted memberships.
Shout out Emilio.
Emilio Perez. Emilio Perez. Maybe.
I don't know.
All right. It looks like we've actually got some people joining the Sports Wars bracket, by the way. Thank you guys. We do have a Sports Wars bracket tournament challenge. We're not doing women's basketball because who fucking cares? But we are doing the men's tournament. Selection Sunday. Today we'll finalize those brackets. You can actually start making your picks. Again, the handful of games, kind of like the little play-in games, those are occurring on Tuesday. So that starts Tuesday. Real tournament starts Thursday. And yes, get your bracket picks done by then. The link is in the description. I'll probably post on the community tab too, if anybody wants to do it. But it'll be fun. Just click the link in the description of this video, and it'll take you there. It's an invite to the easiest one to use, honestly, is just the ESPN tournament challenge. Plus, you can win a shit ton of money if you happen to do everything right. So that's the easiest one to use. So that is the link that's in the description of this video over on Rumble and on YouTube. So go check that out. Other than that, I guess we do have the Players Championship is going on today.
Yep.
Rory was tied for the lead. He was like 3 under for the day, but he was tied for the lead a little bit earlier. I don't know what's going on.
Rory was making a sneaky comeback since Thursday and Friday. He had a good day yesterday.
Was it Justin Rose that had the was it Justin Rose? Who was it? That hit the course record after going 6 over the day before?
I couldn't tell you. I only know a handful of these guys like Jordan Spieth and Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy.
Oh, it was Justin Thomas. Yeah. So Tiger, by the way, Tiger blew out his Achilles.
Ruptured his Achilles earlier this week. Or last week, I guess now.
Tiger's the greatest golfer of all time. There's no question about it.
How old is he now?
It's unfortunate that his career was cut short by so many goddamn injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But he is the best to ever do it.
He's 49 years old, recovering from a ruptured Achilles. Now, he could go the Aaron Rodgers, Ray Lewis route and just take a whole bunch of growth hormone and steroids to help heal that ruptured Achilles at that age, but a lot of people are saying that he's done. Do you think he's done? 49 years old,
He's going to come
Achilles?
back. Look, Tiger has already been done with everything that's happened to him. Not just regular injuries and stuff, but remember the car accident?
Yeah, the car accident. Yeah, and he broke his femur.
Yeah,
that car accident. That was a few years ago.
He almost lost his leg in that car accident. Like with all of that, I just don't think that he can. I think he was already done. However, just having Tiger being healthy enough to participate in major tournaments is a huge deal. Now he has been doing that thing, which has been really fun to watch, the like virtual golf thing that they do, where they have like the arena full of people. Like that's been really fun, and you get to see a lot of Tiger's personality in those because they mic the guys up and everything. It's fucking great. But I think that in terms of thinking that Tiger is ever going to be playing competitively again, I think that's over with everything we've seen. But TGL is asked. I mean, it's entertaining. I don't know if I would ever pay to go see one, but it's fun just to see those guys shooting the shit. Like that's the cool part for me, not to watch people play virtual golf. But yeah, I think Tiger's done, unfortunately. But that's it for us. Year. What's that?
At least for a year, he'll be out.
BMO Better says, got one rant here. It says, Rumble rant for $10 from KW. I don't see it, KW. Hold on. Let me see if I can do something because I don't want to miss it, especially a $10 Rumble rant. Let me go and see if I can find something somewhere. Live streams, stats. Can you just repeat it in the chat, KW, and I'll get it? What moves have the Bears made? The Bears went out and completely solidified their line. They signed the best center in free agency, Dalman. They got him from the Falcons. They traded for Joe Thuney and for their right guard as well from the Rams. They've completely solidified that inside of their line, which is 100% what they needed. They also made a couple pickups on defense. Grady Jarrett from the Falcons, who's probably on the wrong side of 30, but I think still has a lot of gas left in the tank. They signed, I forget his name, one of those fucking African names or whatever, from the Colts as a potential outside threat as well. So yes, indeed. They've made a lot of good moves so far, in my opinion. BMO Beta. Is he still here? Oh, KW, do y'all agree or disagree that Tennessee is the top university in the nation currently? Top 5 in baseball and basketball, top 10 in football. Go Vols, fuck Florida, ready for this champ. Okay, well, thank you, King Kane Rumsky, for helping us out with that. But yes, I think that, Tennessee's obviously been really solid in a lot of the major sports. I'd have to look at a lot of other colleges, but in terms of just looking at those big three, that's a hell of an achievement for sure. No doubt about it. Storm Shadow for 2. Bears signing Rodgers to tutor Williams. I don't think so. The Jets did get Justin Fields. Congrats to Justin Fields.
Right. Look, yeah, I forgot about that one.
I think that Justin, look, the reason I didn't really talk about it here is because I did talk about a lot of the free agency signings in a video that I made earlier a couple days ago. But this is Justin Fields' last shot to me as a starter to prove that he can be a starter. I do think there's a decent amount of upside for the Jets. I think they've got a new culture coming in. They still do have weapons. Reunited with Garrett Wilson from his Ohio State days at the wide receiver position. Breece Hall. Guys like that in the running back position. I think that the Jets can do something. I don't think they can be that competitive, but I think they can do something this year with you sign Aaron Glenn, not sign, but you got Aaron Glenn from Detroit. I think he's going to change that culture. I really like Aaron Glenn. I think he's going to be a great head coach someday in the league. So maybe there's some upside, but I think Justin Fields is a fucking bum personally.
If Justin Fields even starts, might see Tyrod Taylor back there. Old man Tyrod starting for the Jets.
I think their plan is to start him as of right now. Stephen DeLeon for 2. Notre Dame rules all.
Okay.
No LPGA for Tiger, I guess. Thanks, Trump. Yes, no LPGA for Tiger, unfortunately. But yes, I'm very happy with the moves the Bears have made in free agency. Drew Dalman, in fact, had higher offers from other places that he turned down to go to Chicago, which I find that a positive thing. Solidify that offensive line. We got some things to do in the draft. I don't think I want them to draft Ashton Genty. I really don't. I just think it's a reach to draft a running back like that high. Take the best available pass rusher. That's what I would like to do, but don't know. Pick up Cam Scadaboo later on in the draft. Take a Cam Scadaboo. Cam Scadaboo and fucking Swift can be like the 1-2 punch there. Scadaboo with a little power, But all right, that's it for us. Locals. Remember, locals, we're going to be doing March Madness stuff. So check out Geeks and Gamers Locals. We're going to do watch parties there. Those are fun. And join the tournament challenge.
Hell yeah.
And we will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.